And why don't you share your screen and welcome everybody. Now being streamed live on YouTube. Right. This is Nature's Frequencies, and we are coming live from beautiful Florida. We have RJ and Siesta Key. I'm Rick at Marco Island, and we got people from all over the world. We have Singapore in the house. We have Australia in the house. We have England in the house, and lots of our friends all throughout America. And RJ, we're so happy Dick Matwishan reminded us to hit record.
Oh, yes. Ooh.
Dick, and you're getting a special bonus in the next packet.
Good call. Good call. That would have been forgotten.
All right. So bingo. We are being live and we're being recorded. And this is a special presentation about WOW. What is WOW? WOW is an incredible product that we invented that is a combination of botanicals. And it looks like I am speaking all about WOW on the left, and I'm looking at me on the right. Oh, we have a new screen.
How about now?
Now is energetic health and wellness. You know, I love this little banner with awards on the top.
Isn't that nice?
And it is nice. And welcome to our Saturday Zoom event. We do this every Saturday. We have fun. We enjoy our people from all over the world. And we try to enlighten you with the latest, greatest news of how to keep you healthy. You know, last night I spent a lot of time with Dr. Joe. He's a healer. And I told him I absolutely love helping people. And we had the nicest talk. Dr. Joe was down here at Marco Island. And it was just such a pleasure. And meeting people like that, to care about people more than anything, makes it special for me. So God bless you, Dr. Joe. You're flying home, but I'm still here. RJ and I are loving Florida. I live in New Hampshire. I left a snowstorm 2 days ago. I got a foot of snow at my house. So it's 80 degrees outside. I'm going on a boat as soon as this call is over. So we're pretty happy. And that is Saturday's Zoom event. So we got to have you watch a quick video. Oh, nope, we're not.
Oh, nope, no vid.
No vid, but this is really pretty cool. We've won 15 major industry awards. The most important was really the Gold Medal Edison Award. We won it in New York City, and you know, it was so cool. We were on after that. We were in Fox News, USA Today, and some things you do in life are priceless. Walking the red carpet in a tux with the news there, the media there, and winning an Edison Award. And the other winners were like Dow Chemical.
They were big companies.
Artificial Intelligence from IBM, like all monster companies. And then there's little tiny Rick and RJ. But you know, anyways, it was really pretty neat. We hold 6 US patents, and it's all held by our family. We are a family-owned company, and we're really happy about that. So, Arj, what's up next?
All right. Now we go to the topic.
The topic is the WOW tag. And the WOW tag and the WOW patch is really pretty amazing. It's designed to assist the body with issues like discomfort, inflammation, stress, and so much more. This started as the WOW pet tag because we had pets that has arthritis in the hips, and we all have an endocannabinoid system, and that's triggered by frequencies. And if you know how to replicate those frequencies, all these good things happen in your body or a pet's body. So I got to tell you, the WOW tag is incredible. It's a combination of botanicals, which we will never tell you what, but we can tell you we've had incredible success with WOW. Emotional issues and, you know, basically all types of issues. WOW helps the body. So
WOW patch as well.
The WOW patch works well. We also have samples of the WOW patch we send out to people to try. It's like stabilizing. So, you know, Arj, without further ado, I think we should get to our buddy Tim Dillon. If Tim, we can unmute Tim. Tim, I think you're driving, so don't get in trouble and hit anything. But
let's see.
Oh, we see Tim. Tim, don't go hit anything.
Oh, let's ask him to unmute. Here we go.
Oh, we got the picture. we'd love to hear from our people. Do I get to hear from Melissa too, Tim? We're just going to unmute Tim.
Tim looks like
he's frozen.
It might be frozen.
Shall we go to Dick in the meantime? Dick Matwishin, can we unmute Dick?
Yep.
Dick, can you unmute? Oh, you want me to do it, Arj?
Yeah, you have all the power, but all right, Dick is now unmuted.
Okay, all set.
All right.
Dick, welcome from the villages in Florida. Tell us about WOW, Dick. Could you please?
Okay, so we use WOW. WOW is one of those standbys whenever you've done something wrong and realize it afterwards or at the end of the day. So last night was one of those events. All of a sudden, the back of my left hand had a lot of discomfort. You know, it felt like I hit it with a 2x4, and my wrist felt like my hand was going to fall off at my wrist. Okay. So in watching all of the Zoom calls that we've watched over the years here, you talk about putting a patch on the wrist and how that actually goes through the whole system. So I put one WOW patch on the inner part of my wrist, and I secured it with some medical tape because, you know, the wrist just moves around a lot. And within minutes, not only did the wrist feel better, but the back of the hand felt better. So instead of having something that probably would have kept me up all night every time I moved, there was no problem at all. So we love all the products, but we love these emergency products that you need.
Well, thank you, Dick. Hey, Arj.
Yep.
How do you delete Alex Frazier?
You go like this.
That would be great. She was giving us a few that we didn't need to see.
I saw that. I was trying to remove
Sorry,
it.
everybody.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Tim, do we have you, Tim? Are you driving? Hopefully you're not in trouble driving. Well, we'll come back to Tim. When you can, Tim, just show us your face and we'll put you, Tim, and hopefully we get Melissa, well, she's over there. Arj, what do we have next?
All right. We got a really funny video of Susie's dog that we got to share.
I love this one.
This is good.
We're not kidding. Pets do love this, and this is one of the reasons why.
So let's go to what the furry friends are saying. And this is Susie's dog. And
hey everyone, my mom doesn't usually let me on Facebook, but while she's on the phone, I wanted to tell you something. You see this little tag around my collar my mom has me wearing 24/7? Well, she actually wears one too. And she wants me to wear it because she wants me to stay healthy and happy and flexible. Well, at least that's what she says anyway. But I know it's because she loves to bounce in my step and all my little spins and twirls that I do for treats. Now, if you want your furry friends to be healthy and happy and run around and have fun, then you better talk to my mom when she gets off the phone and get one of these WOW pet tags like she's got me wearing. Bye now.
Arj, I got to tell you, it started with pets, and then we called it the WOW Pet Tag. We had a doctor in Atlanta that asked us, you know, I love the WOW tag for humans, but I really have a problem giving my humans a WOW pet tag to wear. So we actually took nail polish and scrapped off where it said pet and sent it to him. Then we changed it to the WOW tag, and he was in heaven. And my dog, I've got two dogs. One's a little golden doodle. It's 14, 13, but 10. Jolie says 10. I don't know. He's old, but he used to go crazy with fireworks. He used to go crazy over everything. Put a WOW tag on him, and he just stabilized. And before that, we had a big golden doodle, Buffett. Jimmy Buffett was amazing. And his hips had some issues, but we put the WOW tag on him. Buffett lived to like 15. And that dog was the best dog ever. And I know our buddy Frank down in Florida, RJ, he like harvests the biggest dogs in the planet. He thinks they're bears. And he's got one of his puppies is 100 pounds already. But the WOW tag is amazing for big dogs and little dogs. So just thought I'd tell you. everybody's got an endocannabinoid system, dogs and pets. And can we put Dick is Tim Dillon back on?
Oh, nope, it's gonna be through Melissa.
Oh, Melissa,
All right, let me find.
you're gonna have to let her in, Arj, because I'm just gonna mess up.
Oh, Father, you are okay.
RJ, if I touch anything,
I
you'll
know,
get disconnected.
I know. All right, let's find.
Your screen is still showing Susie. You're still sharing your screen.
All right, let's stop sharing the screen.
You're on a roll, Arj.
Hey, I'm on fire. Now let's go. Is he
I think they're in Texas.
okay? Here's Melissa. Ask to women. There we go.
Right. Hi, everybody.
All
Well,
right.
Tim, we had an appointment here and of course, every pet, every dog we've used the wild tag on has had a change. Oh, there's Tim. That's it. All right. So Tim's dog had hip problems, put the wild tag on her. To date, as long as she has a wild tag on, she has no hip problems. You take it off, she gets them. My daughter, who was not necessarily a believer, their lab, they've got a lab that's going to have chronic hip problems. By wearing the wild tag, their dog does not have hip problems. But here's not a dog one. My sister, who I love dearly, has always had social anxiety. And when I was wearing the wild tag, and I told her about y'all's products and everything, and she goes, I want to wear that. And here she is, I'm 68, she's 66, and she started when she was like 64, and she has less anxiety, less social anxiety. She's done more with the wild tag. She lost one and called me and said, it fell off, I lost it, do you have another? And I said, yes, I'll run it right over. Now, my mom, who is in heaven now, really was, and she's 90, and she thought these things were stupid. She wanted me to take mine off and this and that. So she got very, very ill and couldn't walk anymore, and actually got put on hospice. So underneath her recliner, I put not only the Earthing card, food freshness card, and wild tags. And she, over a period of 3 months, got so much better. They took her off hospice. They stayed under her recliners, in which she slept in. They stayed under her hospital bed when she moved to that. She was going to go to heaven. All of us are going to leave this earth. Hopefully everybody goes to heaven. But until she passed away, she had that bundle of stuff. Now, what's funny is I brought her bundles home, one of her bundles, and in the middle of the night, I thought I knew where I was going, and I hit my head on a door frame. It popped up a big whole bump. I put arnica on there, and Tim goes, put a card. And so I started doing this, walked around with it on my head, and guess what? I don't think it's going to bruise, and it was huge. It was one of those that you saw stars. So anyway, I love the wild tag. I love the Earthing card. I love the food freshness. I love everything.
Thank you, Melissa. Just so everyone knows, you can also throw a wild tag in the dog's water. Water picks up everything. So if you put a wild tag in the bottom of the water, it's a really good thing to do. Can we still hear from Tim? I saw Tim pop his head in.
Well,
Tim, you got something for us, buddy?
No.
Now,
No.
we heard from Melissa. We would rather hear Melissa's accent anyways, and she's way back in it.
Yeah.
We got,
All right.
all right.
we got Frank and Linda we can hear from.
All right. So RJ, you working on muting people.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa. You want to mute Tim?
Let's go to Frank. Let's go to Frank.
Frank. We love hearing from Frank.
Yes.
Hey, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day down here in my state. I won't charge you too much rent, but that's okay. Anyway, wild patches to begin with. I found that the best good that they did for me was when I put about a half a dozen of them on my lower back, and it was for sleep. It actually helped me stay in bed longer. And with the challenges I've had with my back and with my mind, I guess, from being in the military, it's actually helped me calm down in that respect. I now have a WOW tag that both my wife and I sleep on. I also carry one around my neck all the time, along with my earthing card. Now, the WOW tag and the earthing slash earth, or rather the EMS slash earthing card tag I have on my dogs, both of them. And both of those will actually help your dogs calm down a bit. I had a very small one like Rick does, and always afraid of any loud noise, firecrackers, or anything like that. Bad weather storm where the thunder was going, it would always get up and run and off the lanai and into the garage and behind the refrigerator. And I won't say that she doesn't shake at all, but she doesn't get up and run anymore. She takes it, she's fine as long as she's around us, and that's a big improvement. So with that, we have it on all of them. I have some big dogs, like Rick said. I've got a female that is about 16 months old. It's about 115 pounds. She is extremely excitable. And then I have a puppy that just turned 27 weeks old yesterday, and he is 90 some pounds at this point. Last week he was 94. He's gaining about 3/4 of a pound a day, by the way. So he's approaching 100 very quickly. He is a little more somber than the older puppy, but we have found that he is very calm compared to others in its breed. So we have both on all three of our dogs, and we wouldn't take them off. They do have a tendency to get a little, rambunctious, and when you put dogs together that are really large, they grab the collars, and sometimes you got to replace one here or there, but that's life. If I could make them myself, I guess I would just put a couple around them, and then if one breaks, it doesn't make any difference. I'll just replace the one that breaks. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful time when you're down here in Florida, and don't forget your little pilgrimage up here to mid Florida. You can come see me. We got enough room. I can give you your own suite upstairs.
Teddy was asking, what is the breed of your dogs?
Big.
The big ones.
The big puppy, the 16-month-old one, is a Fila Brasileiro, a Mastiff from Brazil. Just Google Fila dog and you'll see an example of that dog. And the other one is a South African Borbal, and he is, like I said, he's in the 90s, approaching 100. His father was 193 pounds.
Wow, that's me.
That's bear size.
Yeah, well, that's his name, Bear.
Okay.
My wife named him before she ever saw him.
That's a riot. RJ, come here, Bear. People are wondering if it really is. Teddy had Newfoundlands before.
Newfoundland.
Nice. All right. Our buddy told us we should listen to Irv. And Irv, can you unmute Irv Arjun? Thank you.
Hear from her.
Irv, can you tell us about the endocannabinoid system? Because I know you're an expert on everything botanical. Irv probably picks more mushrooms and eats more herbs than anybody in the planet. So can we hear from Irv?
Yep, we're trying to unmute him.
How you doing, Irv? Where are you, Irv? Can we see Irv?
Nope. We don't see Irv. He's here.
All right. Doug McCorkle mentioned to put Irv on. Irv, if you can hear us.
Or you know what? Is Linda? Can we hear from Linda?
Linda. Can we unmute Linda?
Yep, we're unmuting.
Hi, Linda. Let's unmute. There you go. How you doing, Linda?
Hi, really good. Thank you. Hi. Yes, I have anxiety from a lot of PTSD, and I can attest definitely I have no more anxiety. In fact, I'm too calm for people now. I used to be able to, oh, shut her up. No, not anymore. I'm too calm. So I want to thank you so much because people don't get upset with me anymore. Barely notice I'm around. Can you imagine? So no more antidepressants, no more anxiety drugs, barely any asthma stuff. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I won't take it off. Just a shower. That's it. That's all. In fact, I don't even know if I'm going to take it off then. So I want to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Well, Linda, we thank you. You know, it's funny in Europe, like I think I was over in Germany, and the #1 medication for antidepressant is St. John's wort. It's natural. In America, it's Prozac. So we have a different country, Arj, and there's a lot of botanicals that are really healthy for people that help. And we're lucky that WOW helps a lot of people. So, you know, we tell people, people and pets, WOW Tag is huge. I was just on the phone with Dr. Janine, and she swears by the WOW Tag and the earthing tag. She has them both on at all times. And she goes, Rick, it just stabilizes me. And, you know, it was kind of neat. What Frank said is like, Frank's had a tough life. And, you know, it also helps when he sleeps because your mind can wander. And if it's stabilizing, that's a good thing. So, Arj, don't we have a couple recorded ones we can show?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's hear. Oh,
Thank you again, Linda.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Let's go over to Hannah.
Oh, let's hear from Hannah.
So I have some plastic tubs. I have 4 different colors so that I could document which product was where and which one was my control. And I switched it up every week for the last 4 months. They're 100-gallon tanks. And I put a WOW Tag in one. And I put the earthing card in one. And I put the food freshness card in the other. And the 4th was our control.
We lost the volume.
And every day for the first 2 weeks, I had to go refill the WOW water at least 2 or 3 times a day. And I wasn't sure if it was just because they were all sort of in a central location. It was easier to get to. That's where they were hanging out that day. So I took the WOW water and I put it on the far corner of their pasture. So they'd all have to really go and travel to get it and search for it. And they still emptied it twice in one day. Love this. This one is actually really fun. I had my WOW Tag clipped to the inside of my bra strap. And it was the first time I'd gone out in the pasture with the bulls and everybody. And I got within our big bull's energy zone. Normally, he's really respectful of my space. That day, he was not. He wasn't rude or aggressive at all, but he came and he rubbed his head all over my shoulder where he could find it. I was like, that's really weird. So I went in and I moved the WOW Tag to my hip pocket. A couple hours later, went out to see him and he knew where it was again. And he rubbed all over it and he's just absolutely fine. This morning, I stuck it inside my glove and went out and just held my hands out to either side and he still knew where it was. And just to see if there was a difference in the person, I had my husband do the same test and he just went and stood in the pasture with the tag wherever. And as consistently, he goes right to wherever the tag is at.
RJ, pets are amazing. Remember I said earlier, throw the WOW Tag in the water?
Yep.
Anna had like 50 goats and all sorts of farm animals. And she said it was crazy. When she first told me the story, she goes, Rick, this other like water bin is like a mile away. And these are lazy animals that cows don't want to walk a mile, but they all went to the WOW water, like all of them. And, you know, first she thought it was a placement. No, it had absolutely nothing to do. The WOW water was better. Then she did a test with that water she made she took the cream and made ice cream. And that ice cream was the sweetest ice cream that she ever made. And everybody said the WOW ice cream was amazing. And just by putting the WOW Tag in the water. And then she started getting WOW Tags for her animals. And they would like try to nudge the ones off the other animals. So the animals know. And she said, you know, like if it's in my glove, he'd go to the glove. In my pocket, he'd punch nose to the pocket. And the animals just love the Wow Tag. So animals know. And you know, we're not quite like that, but it helps everybody. So Wow is a great gift to give anybody that you know, maybe a little stressed out in life. You know, anyways, do we have any more, Arch?
I think we got one more from, let's see here. We got one more from Elaine. Let's see what Elaine has to say.
Okay, well, I've got a German Shepherd. That's Layla. Kind of inspired me with the packets and how the cows and the goats picked what they want. So Layla's got a Wow Pack tag on. And I thought I will put one of every product we have, a packet of everything, on the floor in the dining room. And I'll call her in. And I put the blue bottle with the food freshness card at the end nearest to me. Anyway, so she's come in and she's not used to all these things on the floor, and she's nosing around and she spotted this and she went straight to this. And she just sat there and hitting that and looking at me. And I've got her here. I'm going to see whether she will actually come. Okay, can you see her?
Yep.
And she absolutely loves it. Good girl. Yeah, and then I did the trick again, but this time I semi-hid the bottle. She went and found the bottle and she's like looking at me, will you please spray me? She absolutely loves this. And then we've got little Rosie. Now, this is Rosie, and this is Esme. Rosie's my daughter's dog. And unfortunately, she was a rescue dog and she had a horrendous first year or so of her life. She really does. And she come very stressed and very terrified, and she gets very stressy and very yappy. So when the pet tags come out, we put the pet tag on her and we noticed that she calmed down. Now, she doesn't like water. She never goes in the sea. She never goes in the river or the streams. And this one particular hot day, they've taken Rosie for a walk. The stream's there, and she's gone into the stream and walked out. And it was like, wow, the only thing different was the pet tag. And then she had, going back now a few weeks back, she had a really bad upset stomach, really stressy stomach. And we'd had Dr. Marie talking about the food freshness card, the earthing card. And I went round there. She hadn't eaten for 3 days. She was getting really hard. And she's a little dog, so she needs to eat. Anyway, she come up and I said, let's try the earthing card. And Esme was with my daughter. And I got the earthing card and I waved it over Rosie. And she had been shaking and like this. She was absolutely in a right state. They couldn't believe it. We waved the earthing card and she calmed right down. The shaking stopped and that. And I went into the back of the car. I'd already offered her a treat and she didn't want to know, but I went and got another one. And when she'd calmed down, she had a treat. So I sent her back in with an earthing card and a food freshness card. And she laid on these and she recovered and her stomach got better. And she was fine. We also find she's terrified of fireworks. But with the tag on, she was a lot better.
All right.
All right, RJ, can we unmute Harry down in Australia?
Yeah, let's hear from Harry from the
Let's hear
land.
from Harry.
How
How you doing, Harry?
Let's go to Harry.
Can we unmute him?
Yep.
Harry, it's 4 a.m-ish, something like that way down under.
Let's see. Harry asked to unmute. Here we go.
We're getting there. RJ, you sending out like a smoke signal to Australia? There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Just now it's 3:30 in the morning here, but anyway, it's so fantastic to be on the call with you guys. You inspire me, and particularly Rick, when you and RJ invented the Wow Tag for animals, Hannah, got me interested because you put on the goats and things like that, cows. But we had a dog, it's a Kelpie dog, and the Kelpie dog in Australia is known for rounding up sheep. You see them on the TV clips and that. And I think the latest one was sold for about $52,000, but we got ours for free. We called her Missy. And she was with us from 2002 until 2020. And look, the last 2 years of her life, she was blind. And we never wanted to put her down. And it's sort of like you say, you know, be kind to your animals, but we wanted her to still be around anyway. She had she didn't even have any sense really for smell, but to have her still in the family anyway, I sort of thought to myself, well, I can't go wrong. I'll just put a wow tag on her. And I believed in my heart that she still had at least 18 months of good life being with us rather than sort of putting her down anyway. I wasn't there present at the final end, but I think she was put down finally because she had some bowel troubles. But I just believe that our animals need just as much protection as we do, and particularly now from what's happening with the 5G that's coming around as well. But anyway, thanks for that invention, Rick. It's been a real pleasure. We had a lot more love for our animal. We had some happy years there together. It's just all the memories you have. But thanks a lot, guys. Lots of love.
Thanks, Harry. We love hearing that. You know, if you can extend your dog's life a little bit and the hips aren't quite as painful, that's what life's about. So, you know, and you're doing it naturally. It's frequencies, and we're really good at embedding frequencies into substrates. So, hey, Arj, you know, I think it's time to do a giveaway.
Let's try to unmute Irv one more time.
We'll try to unmute Irv if we can catch up.
Irv is unmuted.
Irv.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Hey, Irv.
Welcome. I have so many things to say about the wild patch and the other patches. I don't even know where to begin, but let me go back to Scott's Akita breed, Nyla. It was an amazing dog. Unfortunately, she is, you know, since demise, but when I went to visit him to work with him over, you know, a couple days, Nyla was lying out in the side yard beside his house. And normally when I would, you know, get to the house, she would get, you know, excited and jump all over. And she was just laying there. It was horrible. Okay. And I, you know, kind of tried to get a little response from her and none. And I went, you know, to the door and I said, Scott, what's wrong with Nyla? And he told me the story that she had, you know, pretty much stroked out or something. They weren't even sure what happened the night before, but ultimately they had Teresa and Scott had picked her up, and literally they had a dog elevator. They had, you know, put her in a sling, you know, one carrying the front, one carrying the back, carried her to the elevator, took her down to the ground, and then just had laid her out where she was when I met her, or when I went to go talk to her. And she just had no energy, couldn't get up, couldn't do anything. And he had changed all of the patches on her. Okay, that, you know, that morning, everything, you know, so she had not only the wow tag on, she had a real EMF earthing card, which was in a little sleeve around her collar, and he had all the patches, you know, all over the collar and on the card. And sure enough, I went, you know, in the house, and we're in there, and Al Munn, who was Scott's sponsor, was also there. And Scott said, I better go out and check on Nyla. And he went towards the back to do that. And ultimately, Al said, no, Nyla's out front. And it turned out that she had, you know, gotten up, had, you know, kind of a revitalization, was able to not only walk around, but she got up, and there's like a, I don't know, 10-inch, 12-inch step onto the porch in front of the front door. She was standing there just wagging and smiling and having a great time. Okay, well, in the meantime, when I got there, Scott had called the veterinarian to set up, you know, a last urgent appointment. Okay. And in the afternoon, that was at 4 o'clock that day. So we took her to the vet anyhow, because obviously we want him to look over Nyla, see if he could figure anything out. And we got there, and Nyla, you know, we lifted her out of the van. We didn't want her, you know, kind of overdoing anything, and put her on the ground. She did her dog thing, you know, walked around where all the dogs were outside. And then we had, you know, the appointment. We walked in, and the veterinarian's looking at Scott saying, you said that she was dead for all intents and purposes. What's this? And we absolutely, said, well, she was, even when I got there at noon, she was that way. And turned out he said, well, what are all these stickers and what's this stuff on her collar? And we kind of explained it, and we mentioned one of those is CBD. Okay. And he absolutely was triggered. He said, in the literature and what's going on in the veterinarian world, there's an awful lot of interest in CBD, and I would love to be able to introduce it to my patients, but unfortunately there aren't any reasonable protocols, and I don't want to take any liability for being a veterinarian that steps out there and kind of pioneers that. And we said, well, we have that solved in that particular device has no chemical content in it at all. It's frequency only. And as a consequence, the body only assimilates the energy that it needs. And, by having that and the other various modalities that you see on the dog's collar, the dog is being influenced by those frequencies continuously. And you are looking at an absolute energy revitalization, no question about it. And, just kind of opened my vision to how powerful these technologies are. Now, in the WOW, we've incorporated, you guys are geniuses, the full benefit of full spectrum organic CBD. Okay. And that frequency alone stimulates, as Rick had mentioned earlier, the endocannabinoid system, which is the system which Dr. McCollum in the 70s, basically in Israel, while he was doing some research on major tremor complications in the human body, found that all mammals have a system called the endocannabinoid system. It has CB1 and CB2 receptors that ultimately, when triggered, begin to guide the body back to balance. Homeostasis, what we all desire to maintain as much as we possibly can. And, as we, smart enough to have embraced these technologies, including the WOW, have, the ultimate benefit of being able to enjoy that frequency continuously. So anybody that is remiss and doesn't have it yet, shame on you. Anybody that isn't aware of it, shame on us for not getting the word out. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Irv. Just so everyone knows, we cannot confirm nor deny our proprietary programming of natural botanicals.
Top secret.
It is a top secret program, but it is all natural, organic, and healthy. But I can tell you that we originated WOW from a product from a veterinarian called Doc Tom. We actually made a Doc Tom pet tag, and Irv is spot on. But we will not confirm nor deny. But we special ingredients, and the first tag was named Doc Tom's pet tag. And let's just say we took it from there, Irv. And we worked with this vet that was a genius. He actually took some of our patches, put it on a collar. Then we made the phone size patch, and it was wrapping it around the collar, but it wasn't really lasting. So then he's like, come on, you got to do something like a tag. So then I still have them in our office, Vet Tom pet tags. And it was funny because a friend of mine asked me, do you still have any of those left? I called my office. Yeah, Rick, I found a whole box in the back. So anyways, that's where it started from. And pets as well as humans have this system. And it's activated on frequencies. It is not, just so everyone knows, you don't have to ingest CBD. You don't have to put it on your body. You don't have to, the CBD has a wave. Your body recognizes it. It's two different systems, and they recognize the wave. So if you can replicate the wave in a good way, your body may need it, it may take it, and it may say, wow, and start activating good things. So we have some secrets there. Irv is pretty smart, so thank you, Irv. And we always appreciate